This is Sonia McCown. I am the Technology Coordinator at Judge Memorial, and I also teach computer science. In this tutorial, I am going to teach you how to set up your categories in Skyward now, and also how to set up your scoring method. The scoring method is, are you going to use category weighting, 20% test, 10% assignments, 5% homework, 30% participation. It's got whatever you decide to do, it needs to equal 100%, or you're going to use my personal favorite, total points. Those are really your only two options, but you need to set that up at the very beginning of each semester if you're teaching a semester class, or just at the beginning of the year if it's a year-long class. But this is something that you need to make sure you take care of at the very beginning, and I would double check it so that you don't get down to the end of the quarter and realize all your grades are wrong. So if you think you've already done it, go back and double check. But I'm going to walk you through how to do this. This is probably one of the first things you need to take care of. I'm already logged into Skyward. As you can see, we're going to go up to the Teacher Access menu. There's a number of different ways to navigate through Skyward. I'm just going to show you one, and if you use another one, then that's just fine. So go to Teacher Access. I'm going to go up to my gradebook, and I'm going to go down my list. Now you can see here I have semester classes, so I'm just going to go into the first semester class for this semester, and I'm going to go to Gradebook. And it should tell you right away that you haven't set up your scoring method. This is a default that we have set, so that you will go in and make sure that you have your classes set up. So you simply choose the choose a score method button and click on that. And I use total points, which means that I give a point value to each assignment, and then at the end of the term, it's points earned divided by points possible, and that gives them their grade. Now, I also use categories, but I don't weight on categories. I just use it to sort my assignments, or if I want to see how they're doing on homework versus test, then I have that available to them. You may also choose this third option, and that is base grades percent assigned to categories by grade period. That means that each quarter is graded separately, and it could be 30% test, 30% homework, and 40% participation. You could throw in a notebook or whatever, but that's what that is designed for. You need to make sure that you know what you're doing if you're using those categories, so that you don't end up just having one assignment in there and it counting 40% of their term. So if you need help with that, you may want to talk to a veteran teacher or to your department head, or stop by and talk to me about which of these grading methods would be best for you. But I would suggest either using total points or assigned to categories by grading period. You are not allowed to use this unless you get special permission from an administrator to do base grades on percents assigned to categories. That would be across this whole semester or year if it's a year-long course, and that's not what you want to do. So that is not an option for us here at Judge. So you need to either choose total points or grades on percents assigned to categories by grading period. After I've made my selection, click Save. It'll take you to this screen, and it shows you the categories. If you've taught before this course, it will pull over your categories from the last time you taught. If you want to add or delete a category, you click on Add and Edit Categories over on the right, and then you can come in here and select or deselect those categories that you want to use. You notice I am using categories, even though I don't use them for grading. I use them for the assignments. So I'm going to click Save. And now, one thing that makes life a little bit easier if you're teaching the same course and you want to use these categories for your other classes, typically you can click on, you would think, use these categories for my other classes. But when I do that, you see that none are shown. That's because I have to set up the scoring method first. And since I've only done my first section, I can't apply it to the other courses. So I have to go back to my gradebook. And so what I do is I just kind of go down the side and click on the next gradebook, and I just do both of my semesters at one time since they're all the same. And I'm going to go use total points, click save. I'm just going to do a couple of these to show you how this would work. And then I'm going to go back to the next one, go back to my gradebook, come back, click on the next course, and I would just continue doing this until I had set up all of my sections. Choose ScoreMethod, total points, click save. Once I've done that for all my classes, and just for sake of time, we're going to pretend like that's all of my classes, then I can go to use these categories for my other classes, and it will show all the classes that I have set up so far. And you know, I only did 3 classes, the one I'm in and 2 others right now. I'll go back and do the others when we finish this video. But I select the classes that I want to apply those categories to, and I just select them by clicking, and then I click save. And now that has been copied to those other 2 sections. So now then, I will see these same categories in all the sections that I had set up, which were my first 3. I'm going to go back to my gradebook, come back to first period, or my first section, sorry. And then if I go back to, and I forgot categories, you can see that my categories are now there. So then those are the same. Now if you just want to add one category to, let's say you teach one course that you have a little bit different, I would go ahead and copy it over, and then in this section I would go back and select the category that I need. Okay. Now one difference might be if you selected you selected your score method to be categories. So if you selected base grades assigned to categories by grade period, it changes the look a little bit. You can see that I still have those same categories, but now I have percentages that are assigned to each category. So if I wanted to let's say just do 25% across, I would go click here to modify, and then over here on the modified percent, I would put in 25. Sorry, I think it wants me to put in 0.25. So you can tell I don't do percentages. So do 0.25 there. I put in 0.25 here for participation. I put in 0.25 for projects. And I put in 0.24 tests. Now you need to make sure that it adds up to 100%. If it doesn't, then you can see that up here that now the percent allocated is actually over 100%. So you just want to make sure it's a ratio. So I actually could do 0.25 all the way down, or I could do 2.5 all the way down if those are equal. It'd work out the same way. Modified percent allocated be 100, which is what we want. So we'll go ahead and click save on that. And now that you can see I have 25% assigned to each category. If I wanted to change those, I just click here and I can go back and modify. So I click here. It's not going to let me.